didn't end up raging really late last night with the salsa festival, but it was a really good time. The food was really cheap. I think we spent about, in total, 10 cook, and we got 2 drinks, a sandwich, and a box of rice and meat. So it was awesome. The atmosphere was fantastic. There was just music everywhere, and I don't think we stayed long enough for people to really get into the dancing, but you could see they were kind of itching. Like, their feet were going, and it was gonna be a really good time, but I guess I'm kind of old and I couldn't hang long enough. So it was a good night though, and today is our last day in Cuba. One thing that's been really interesting is I've had absolutely no internet access because you don't have Wi-Fi everywhere. There are spots like at the parks where you can get Wi-Fi. You just you have to pay for it, and you get a code and a username, and then you can go and sit in this park and you see everybody sitting around on their phones, so you know it's a Wi-Fi area. So it's been kind of unique in that respect because most places I've been to, even El Salvador, Dominica, all those kind of remote places, you still have internet, you still have Wi-Fi everywhere you go, or at least in your room. So that's been a really different thing here, is that you don't even have it at your room. But again, it is available if you really want it. I've chosen not to. I've taken that opportunity to not be connected for a few days, and it's a nice little break, but I'm also ready to get back to being in touch with the world. No, you're right though. Like, it's nice not to feel like you have to look at your phone.
Because here, you're not anywhere else. You don't need to know what's going on in the world. I have no idea what's going on in the world. Anything could happen.
I think about that sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, what if?
Yeah.
My password's out.
Yeah.
What if? I have no idea. Venus coffee. We decided to exchange just a little bit more money for today. I think we'd be alright, but we just want to have a little safety cushion. So we are going into the Hotel Nacional. Yeah, like I said, the world I don't belong. I'm gonna keep laughing at my own jokes too.
And we got like
Yeah. So we just walked into the Hotel Nacional, which was recommended to me to exchange money. But actually there was a massive line just now. And yesterday I asked at the Etiquette in Old Havana if they exchange money as well, and they do. So we're gonna head there because there's no line, so I think that's gonna be the best option. So if you're staying at the Hotel Nacional, that's probably a good one for you, but we don't have the time today to wait around there. It's a beautiful hotel on the inside. I mean, just kind of the classic idea of Cuba, I think, that you have, and what it must have been like coming here back in, you know, the 50s when there were a lot of expats here. I think that's kind of the life that they had here. So it was really cool to see. But on we go to Old Havana. mind from going to the well-known tourist type places versus basically the bar next door. And I think on average at the places next door you're going to be paying about $1 or 1 Coke for a water, and anywhere from 2 to about 3 Coke for a mojito. And at some of the more popular places, the price of the water goes up to 2 Coke, and the average mojito is anywhere between 3 and 6 Coke. So overall, it's not a major difference, but I think it does add up. So if you're gonna have a few mojitos, I think it's just a bit more budget-wise to do the places next door. Although it is cool to have it in, you know, the same place as Marlon Brando or Ernest Hemingway. So, but that's up to you. I'm going to enjoy this now before we have to head off to the airport. So while I remember this right now, I want to point out that generally here, what I've learned is in like the restaurants and bars that we've gone to, the restrooms are operated by individuals that are separate from the restaurant. So you do always have to tip. So always take like 1 Coke or some change with you when you go to the restrooms. Just a little tip, because I think I kind of got lectured yesterday about that. I felt really bad about it, but I didn't have any coins. So eventually they did let me go and use the bathroom, but I felt horrible, and yeah, so don't make my mistakes.
Is it left and then it's to the right?
Yeah, no, the bottom to the right and the top to, like, in and to the left. All the way to the right.
What, which one?
The bottom.
This?
Yes. To the right. There you go. Hi. Hi. Good chat. Good chat. Yeah. Okay. I have to go now. Okay, so that's it. Back at my home base, airport, waiting for the Uber to head home. Final thoughts on Cuba. I would say it's a fantastic place to go. It's a much larger island than I had time to explore. The people are wonderfully nice. Everybody was super helpful towards us, and I've noticed towards each other as well. The food was awesome. Everything, if you kind of knew where to go or if you avoided some of the main areas, was very cheap. And otherwise, the whole travel, getting there, getting back, is actually quite simple. We ran into no issues. It was pretty straightforward. Everything was exactly the way the airline said it would be, with the visas and everything like that. So yeah, overall, I would highly recommend going to Cuba. It is a very vibrant island full of people that love music, that enjoy life, where you are able to completely disconnect. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed being able to disconnect completely for a few days and kind of step back in time. I think at one point we were talking about it, and it was kind of like saying, you know, if you were living in the 1980s, you'd have everything you needed there. Except it's not the 1980s, it is 2017, but you kind of just got to step back in time there, and it was an absolutely wonderful experience. I highly recommend.